Hi, everybody. Welcome to our podcast, Mind Your Health, with Dr. Connie over here. Today, I want to talk to you guys about, because a lot of my autoimmune patients fail to think and consider the cost of sickness versus investing in health. And really, we fear getting sick all the time. But I think living with autoimmunity really presents with a false sense of security in taking all the medications and doing all the things. And we become so complacent about being sick and just kind of maintaining status quo so much that we fail to really think about optimizing our health. Meaning, many of you guys live your lives thinking that you can't really reverse your autoimmunity, especially when you're going through flares and not feeling good and nothing else is working. You might try a diet for a week, take a supplement for a couple of weeks or a month. And then if it doesn't work, you give up super quick and you didn't even give it a full chance, right? These are times when you really have to look in the mirror and ask yourselves, am I exhausting all the options? Because premise by which you live by, the roots by which your foundational identity is grounded upon matters more than whatever it is that we do. For so long, 21 years of living as a lupus patient and really being on like a roller coaster ride as far as my health is concerned, I realized in retrospect that I took my health for granted, as if my health was something that I was entitled to. I only paid attention to it if it causes me inconvenience. And I expect things to work out, even with a little nudge from the medications if I need it, if I'm going through a flare in the past. And then just kind of checking in with myself to change a little bit of diet or here and there. But I know what I want and I know how I want to live. And my habits by which I live my life never really changed. Things were really pretty much easy, right, to come by. But it wasn't until it really threatened my life and really threatened my essential organs like my kidneys that I had to really pay attention. And then it got really, really scary when I had to be admitted in the hospital for biopsies, kidney biopsies, getting scares and health scares, mysterious things, and getting injected with chemotherapeutic agents and all the things. And then you wonder, oh my gosh, am I going to be here for my sons when they get older? Where will I be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? And you realize how much the doctors can't help you because they don't really know what side this is going to fall. They have a fixed way that they deal with autoimmune conditions, and they're usually immunocompromised medications, now biologics and corticosteroids and different pain medications. And then there's side effects that they have to control with a lot of those things. And then you have to really address the side effects. And just like COVID last year, a lot of people died from COVID, but really they didn't die from COVID. It was the secondary effects. It was the cytokine storm. It was the obesity. It was the diabetes out of control. It was the heart failure. It was all the secondary things, but they were able to write COVID because there was a lot of interest in COVID, but those numbers are probably hyperinflated, right? And so a lot of people say, oh, this lupus patient died, that autoimmune patient died, this whatever. But really the complications of living with an autoimmune really, really is all about the side effects to the medication. For example, if you're on corticosteroids for a long time, you're going to get hip necrosis. When you have hip necrosis and you break and fall your hips, you might die because when you break your hip and you lose your mobility, everything goes south, especially if you're older, obese, diabetic. And those three things might have come on because of corticosteroids. And you might have broken the bone because of corticosteroids too, because you had osteopenia that led to osteoporosis, which is also a metabolic disorder. So how do you explain the pool of events? And I find that a lot of autoimmune patients don't consider the big picture, how one thing can lead to another, and how you really need to spend the time to invest in your health, whether it be time, money, attention, and relationships with yourself enough to really work at establishing a very solid baseline that's so much better than just getting out of your symptoms. So I want you to rethink how you think about your health. And I want you to rethink what investment is versus really an expense, right? Because many of you guys, a lot of my autoimmune patients, they say, oh, I can't afford that supplements. I can't afford your services. I can afford my medications because it's paid for my insurance. And they're on a host of different kinds of medication. And then if you are an entrepreneur like me, we can't rely on the government, right? We have to pay for things. And so my deductibles alone year after year gets higher and higher. It's up to $12,000. How do I know that? Well, when I was hospitalized, I had to pay that fee plus some more. And then there's a lot of hidden fees involved when you want to try all these different things. Medical expenses are super expensive. That's an expense. It's not something that's going to get you better. It's only going to manage and control the symptoms. And eventually you'll need another medication. You'll need another. And people who really understand it, they're not scared to really invest in health. So what does investing in health look like? Well, I find that people don't really believe they can heal and cure themselves of getting rid of autoimmunity is really the reason why they don't invest in their health. They have a lot of doubts and fear, and it's so much easier to just continue on, maintain status quo, because at least you know. And then you feel like you're wasting money, right? So the concept of money and the way you think about your health, as well as how much you value your life as a individual who is worthy of spend that kind of not expense, that kind of an investment is another. Self-worth seems to be the number one thing that most of my autoimmune patients struggle with. So I want you to really ask yourself, what prevents you from eating organic foods? What prevents you from taking the leap of faith in that alternative care, our autoimmune transformation program? Because we are closing CART this Friday. And so there's still opportunities for you to join me. But people say they pay lip service to how much they want it, but they're just not willing to pay the price of gaining the thing. They let their fear, doubt, and all the things prevent them. They would much rather stay and maintain status quo because at least it's what they know. But they don't realize a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, you won't be at the same place. You'll be far worse off because you failed to do anything about the thing that you needed to do something about. So where do you stand? How is health represented in your life? Because a lot of my autoimmune patients, they don't feel the worth. They fear telling their husbands or spouses because they're not worthy and they don't know if it's going to be better. And they can't afford it, and they keep perpetuating this feeling of inadequacy, which is the very thing that perpetuates this autoimmunity. So I always talk about how autoimmunity is a catalyst for transformation, right? And it's an opportunity to rise up and really choose yourself unapologetically and really work on maintaining, optimizing your health and longevity. And it's an opportunity for you to grow and be abundant and be completely free from disease. Or you can choose to be in the mind of victim mindset. And I was kind of that way for a very long time. Over 15 years of my life with autoimmunity, I didn't even know that I was living in this victim mindset. Everything that I bought, the supplements and everything, came from Costco at one point in time because I felt like I needed to take care of everybody else. I needed to put away money for my 2 boys. I needed to save for a rainy day, whatever the case might be. And I failed to look at my health as an investment. But once I did that and shifted that perspective and I became healthier, my gosh, once you're healthy, body, mind, and spirit, there's so much more that you can do. And you actually live a purposeful life completely in alignment with who you're meant to be. And then everything sort of falls in place because now you have a good foundational context for the content. So now everything that you do is from a being place of being the person you are meant to be, and then finding clarity around who you are, so much so that when you do things, you know now you can dream big And then commit to STD, which is surrender, trust, and don't doubt. And that's what it really requires, right? A lot of you are on the fence, really don't know what to do, but the true limitations comes from your mind. It's the 17 inches from your heart. So sometimes we have to listen to our intuition and know what's best for us. And listen to that first voice before your mind can talk you out of the thing. Because your brain will always choose what's convenient, easy, and what's familiar, even if it's not serving you. It really takes a whole village to really zap the monkey mind, your monkey brain, to prevent it from sabotaging you every single day of your life. And so when I ask you, what does your health look like? Is there a difference between investing in your health or investing or expending on your sickness? Two very different things. But yet, people pay service or lip service to wanting to get better, but they're not willing to take a chance because of the fear. Fear can be paralyzing, you guys. We see this all the time. And I can guarantee you in our transformational program, it's a year-long incubator where I take you for a journey, for a self-empowered healing journey that gets to look at the deeper layers of who you are to fix you from the inside out, to ultimately provide you with all the tools so that you can be completely liberated and independent of all the things in your life and be super clear on exactly why you do what you do and have a real purpose for your life and really dictate and know that you've got your own back and you're on your path to reversing your autoimmunity once and for all, because you're taking the bulls by the horns and you're taking an inside out approach. No longer you wait for the savior to come and save you. You start doing the work. And that's what this work is all about. So I really want you to be challenged and think about the cost of sickness versus investing in your health. Because whether you are having to spend time on your sickness or waste time or spend time on your wellness, you're going to have to make a choice ultimately. Which choice are you making daily? Are you making choices to invest in your health, or are you making choices to invest in your sickness? Because if you find yourself all constantly doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, you're probably of the mindset without you even recognizing the victim mindset of being stuck in a cycle, hamster wheel, not knowing how to get off because you're busy pedaling. You're so busy doing the thing that you stopped being. When you start to invest in your health, you redefine what it feels like. You get to dream big and ask the $1 million question to say, how do I want to live my life a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? What do I have to do right now to stay committed to the course? And you set the GPS for the course that you want to go. You might take a detour, but ultimately you'll get there. Curious about the program? I would love to work with you. We just got done with our virtual autoimmune retreat. The replay page is available. I will link it below so that you can subscribe and catch the replays to see if this program is right for you. Because I really feel I have a personal obligation to really service you and to let you know the difference between investing in your health and really thinking about the expenditure of being sick. Lots of time away, lots of inability to work, and lots of freedom taken away and living in fear constantly. And that's not a life that I want to live. I want to live a life full of abundance, of doing all the things and serving the right people. I want to serve you if you would allow me. If you like this podcast, please subscribe and leave us a review. It really helps to boost our algorithm and to get this message to the right people. And I will see you guys. I show up every week at 3:00 on this channel. And so if you would kindly leave us a review, I read everything. And then if you're interested in getting on a discovery call to see how you can invest in your health in our transformation autoimmune program that starts this Friday. Well, the cart closes this Friday with all the bonuses that we offer. Please click the link below, get on my schedule. I would love to tell you more. Thank you so much for watching me, and I'll see you guys all next week. Bye for now.